The Houston Rockets just won a crazy game against the Orlando Magic in overtime, won by 4. A ton of clutch shots from KD from Şengün. So Will and I are going to be talking about that. So stay tuned for this episode of the Brad and Will Show.
All right, and welcome back to another episode of the Brado and Will Show. We got coming to you with an emergency podcast, essentially, because the Houston Rockets just pulled off one of the most crazy comeback wins I've seen in quite some time, man. This reminds me a lot of like that 76ers game from last season where we were playing their third stringers and they were just hitting every open three in the book. And then Jabari missed the shot perfectly. Shingle tipped the ball, put it back in, go to who win the game. Right, that reminds me a lot of this game. Because if you did not watch, like Brad said, the Rockets won 117 to 113, and this is a game we had to go to overtime to win. I want to throw out the context. It is Orlando was without Paolo Banchero and without Jalen Suggs tonight, but it didn't matter because Franz Wagner was on his A game. Desmond Bane was on his A game. Wendell Carter Jr. played really well for them as well, and they were making everything. They shot. Funny enough, they only shot 32% from three, but it definitely did not feel that way in real time. I feel like they shot a
So,
lot close.
yeah, Will, in the first half, they shot 9 of 18 from 3. So
Yeah, that's probably why it felt that way because they, for a period of time, could not miss. And the Rockets were down pretty big. We can analyze or break down, I think, one of the reasons we got out of the game being Reed Sheppard. But obviously that happened. They were down pretty big. We are fighting to get back. It seemed like every time the Rockets made a run to try to like tie the game or take the lead, the Magic would immediately go up like a 4-0 run or something and just push the lead back up. So we battled with them all through regulation. We're gonna break down what happens in the end of this game, but it gets it going to overtime, and the Rockets are able to win the game as a whole. Actually, let's start before we kind of get into because obviously big games from Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun. I want to start, if you don't mind, with like Reed Sheppard.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
going in like chronological order here because I think
yeah.
in terms of what even got us to the point where Alperen Sengun can send the game to overtime and Kevin Durant can hit that go-ahead bucket to essentially win the game for the Rockets. We had to get there because Reed Sheppard checked into the game and gave the Rockets life. And this has been something he's been doing a lot recently where the Rockets are stagnating in the first quarter. And then Reed Sheppard will check in, and he's the spark plug that gets the team going and gets us back into conceded against the Bucks as well. And right, like he played so well that in some of these closing lineups, Ime Udoka's like, I gotta just roll with you. Like you've been playing so well, I'm gonna like you didn't start the game, we're gonna leave you out there. So, Brad, what you think about Reed Sheppard today?
Yeah, I mean, we could start. First 9 minutes of the game, the Rockets were down by 13 points, right? And Reed Sheppard checks in, and boom, he's a +6. He cuts the gap. He comes in. He's hitting threes, assisting well. His impact is just felt on the court. And being at the game, Will, it was actually really fun. Anytime Reed got the ball, you could hear the crowd start to erupt, like, shoot, shoot. Or like they're just getting hella excited whenever he's out there. So you could tell that the fans are rallying around him. But yeah, his impact is just felt out there. Again, he's got a lot of gravity. When you're shooting like 50% over the course of 10, 11 games, opposing defenses are going to take note of that. And it's on the scout report. All right, we gotta step up to this guy. But I saw y'all playback reaction when KD had that chase down block, and he was about. It looked like he was about to yam it, bro. In person, everyone was like, "Yo, if he would have slammed that, that would have been the craziest dunk." But no, that play was fun. Just as a whole, though, you can look the past 6 games. Reed, what he's been doing is absurd. Really good efficiency. He's still in the ball at a high rate. His impact is just felt. He's playing more and more minutes for a good cause. Ime is seeing him. He's like, yeah, we got to get this guy in the game. He's affecting us um, in a positive way. So it's great to see a guy, where we had to pull up the trade machines to tell people why we cannot trade Reed Sheppard. It's not going to happen. So it looks like we can finally calm those down and tell people to chill out. So, yeah, no. I agree with you. It was important to talk about Reed Sheppard in this one before diving into what Şengün and KD did, because this is not a game without Reed Sheppard. Again, the Rockets were down big early. Reed checks in and kind of changes the momentum of what was going on. So, 100% agree with you. Well, I'm curious to hear your insight on what you thought.
So he checked in the final 3 minutes of the first quarter and had 2 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist, was a +6 in those 3 minutes. And then he played 9 straight minutes in the second quarter where he had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 or 4 shooting, 2 from three, 100 true shooting.
Yeah.
And that was the plug that got the Rockets back in, right? We 100% do not even have the opportunity to get back into this game if Reed Sheppard does not do that. And this is, like I said, it's similar to what he did in the Bucks game. There's other different games throughout the season where Reed Sheppard just came in and gave the Rockets life. And like I said, what I love so much about his play is he played so well in this game that Ime Udoka had to play him in crunch time, right? He didn't play that much in overtime, and I think he should have played a bit more. He only got in, funny enough, to hit the two probably the biggest free throws of the game, you could say. Maybe a men's free throws of them were a bit bigger, but Reed's free throws were kind of like the moment where it's like, okay, like we probably are gonna win this game now.
Mhm.
And so yeah, he didn't really play much in overtime, but like I said, in that fourth quarter period, he played 10 minutes, right? He played 10 minutes in that fourth quarter period, was playing really well for the Rockets. I think that his overall stat line of 16.7 rebounds on 67 true shooting doesn't even show how well he played.
Mhm.
Because I think the biggest thing is it didn't hide the fact that he had 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
And these were rebounds that the team needed. These were like game-changing boards that Reacher gave this team. And just for everyone at home who's kind of keeping track, this last 5 games, Reed Sheppard's averaging six. I'm going to round up and round down here.
Go ahead.
16 points per game, 3 assists per game, 3 rebounds per game, 2 steals per game on 57, 53, 74 split. I'm sorry, not 74 splits. I actually think his free throws are probably not that high, actually. But that comes out to a 74 true shooting, which, once again, if you don't know at home, a good true shooting is like 57, 58. That's about league average. So if you're anywhere north of like 57, you're particularly efficient, especially for like a guard, right? If you're like a big and you're such a third, you probably want to be at like 60.
Mhm.
But for a guard, 57, 58 is really good. So to be at 74, mind you, it's a 5 game sample size, but 74 true shooting is ridiculous. He's a plus 60 in these minutes. He's doing this in just 27 minutes a night. So he's positively impacting the Rockets. He's leading the Rockets to wins. He's playing so well that this is a guy who I think a lot of people wanted like benched in crunch time, to where it's like, no, he's like actually supposed to be out there. It's funny. I'll say this and I'll stop talking. You know the KD Prime account on Twitter?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out to shout out to KD Prime, but he is like, and I'm pretty reactionary. I'll be honest, I'm pretty reactionary. He makes me look like the most level-headed fan because he like lives and dies with each possession. Shout out to bro, like I'm not even trying to hate him, but he lives and dies with like each individual possession. And I saw today he was like so hyped about Reed Sheppard, and I'm like, bro, I remember opening night when you were like, trade
Get him
Reed
off
this
the team.
instant. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny that like
Yeah.
it went from trade him, get him off the court, he cannot be on this team, to oh my God, Reed Sheppard is so good.
He's the
And
greatest.
so I think it's just an exercise in patience and not jumping the gun, and recognizing that like Reed Sheppard was gonna take some time, man. And now that we've given him some time, it's only year 2, it's just getting started, and he's looking really good. I will say I expect there to be a game where he looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
Right, it's just the ups and downs of being a young player in the league. There's gonna be a game where you look rough, but when that happens, remember, like, it is a process, and I want you to think about these games where he's been really good for us, where he's impacting the win. So, shout out to Reed Sheppard, man. But I think we can move on, honestly.
I'll say this as
Go
we
ahead.
move. It'll be a good segue. But yeah, just looking at again the 6 game sample from Reed, like what he was struggling at early on was just obviously shooting threes, defense, most things. But efficiency wise, he was shooting really poor from 2. I don't know if you know, Will. He's shooting like 70%, 69.6% inside the arc in this stretch, and that's also a game changer too. He's able to get to the cup a lot more, especially with the 3 ball falling. So I wanted to point that out. And as you mentioned, Will, like even if the shot is not falling, the impact is still felt because he's doing the other things. And that's kind of what we're seeing from Alperen Sengun. That was going to be my segue. I will say this: being at the game, that was probably the ugliest first quarter I've ever seen him have. I don't know what reaction y'all had in the playback, but it's good to see him being aggressive. He was taking a ton of shots, but man, it was ugly. It was, he just wasn't hitting them. Right, and it's gonna happen. He's still impacting the game, of course. He's gonna get his assists. Defense is gravitating towards him. But I mean, look, what he did in that second half was unreal. He had 20 points in the second half. I'd have to pull up the stats again to see. But yeah, just to again, Will mentioned it. He at the end of the game, they tried him. They tried him at the rim. He blocks it, goes down, and gets the bucket to force OT. Now, I'm sure a bunch of people are going to look at the stat line, not watch the game. They're going to see he went 11 for 31.
Game's
And
about a bucket, man. Efficiency only
game's
matters if you
about
lose,
it.
man.
Hey, we were talking
It,
about Cade on the last podcast. You put
it
up.
only matters if you lose.
They got the win. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
it
The
doesn't
Rockets
matter.
got the dub. I don't care that he shot 35% from the field. I care that he went out there and put up 20 points in the second half, hit the shots that mattered, and got the Rockets the dub. 1 second left. Rockets down 2. What happened? Şengün gets a bucket. That's what we need. He's hitting clutch buckets, timely shots, and that's what we need. And the behind the back in the overtime was one of the nastiest passes I've also seen in person. I don't know how he pulled that off, but that's why they call him the Wizard. But that's what I had on Şengün. Ugly start, but hey, when you're that good, you're always going to impact the game, and that's what he's done. He's got 6 assists in every single game thus far, which is actually unreal for a center. It's never happened before. So, yeah, you can go ahead, Will.
You said 6 assists in overtime? What
Six,
was it? What was it?
6 assists in every single game this year. That's the
Oh,
he's only
and 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 that's never been done before?
no. I mean, Jokic did it with 5 assists. I'm not going to tweet out 6 because people are going to get on me, but it's never been done. So yeah, no, he's cutting up for sure.
Interesting. Interesting. He also, I would say, in overtime, he had 7 rebounds, 5 of which were offensive. In a
I was
four
gonna
minute
say yeah, because he had 5 going in,
five,
right?
he had 5 offensive rebounds, two
Yeah.
defensive rebounds in the
Wow.
overtime period. Like Matt illustrated, he struggled with efficiency and with ball security in that first half.
Yeah.
But in the fourth quarter, he had 10 points on 73 true shooting. In overtime, he had 3 points. And this was like we needed all those points, bro. Like all of them. They were points that the Rockets needed 100%.
Yes.
He did have that nasty, and I think KD was fouled, honestly, when they tried to inbound the ball and
He
KD
was definitely.
fell.
I had a
I
perfect.
think he was fouled. We didn't talk about it. This was a Scott Foster masterclass. There were so many moments where like I'm like, dude, what am I watching? Like, no funny, bro. The possession, this is one of my pet peeves. I'm going to the tangent here. One of my pet peeves, if you pull up to playback, I say this all the time, right? Whenever there's a questionable call and it's like the opponent's looking at like, do they want to challenge it? Brady, what do I say in
Mm,
those moments? I'm
no.
like, take the ball out, take the ball out, take
Oh
the ball
yeah,
out, take the
yeah, yeah.
ball out.
But the refs are
I'm
gonna
always trying to
hold it.
take the
They're gonna
ball
hold
out
it the whole time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I'm saying if you give them time to like to look at it, they'll challenge it. If you inbound the ball, they can't challenge it, right? I have never in my entire life seen a controversial call get inbounded so fast.
Was it
Like
the which one was it? Was it the
it,
one
I,
in?
I think it was out of bounds. No, not the one where men got fouled. It was the one where I think the ball went out of bounds, and it should have been our ball, and they were going to go review it. They wanted to review it, but they couldn't because the Magic emailed the ball. And I'm like,
Oh
bro,
yeah, yeah.
y'all take every other time y'all take 10 minutes to look at the call before you allow the ball to be inbounded, and it gives the post team a million seconds to inbound the basketball. But when it's our turn to like have some time to like, hey, do we want to challenge it or not? Y'all take a million minutes to do it. Like I mean, y'all don't take a million minutes. You just inbound the ball quickly. So I was like, bro, like Scott Foster's putting on the masterclass right now.
Thank
But yeah. So I think Katie was fouled. But even outside of that, they made up for it, that inbounds mishap. Because honestly, I thought that was game at that point in time. I'm like, oh man, I was like, that's an awful way to lose the game. Where you
Yeah.
got that amazing clutch block on the other end, which was phenomenal. Şengün, in terms of people talking about this guy isn't a good defender. I mean, I think you're just not watching at this point in time if you're still peddling that nonsense. But we got that huge block, and I'm like, man, what a deflating way to lose a game to not even give yourself an opportunity. Because 5 seconds on the clock, I think it's like 5.2 seconds on the clock. That's plenty of time, bro. You can get a shot up with that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, to not even have an opportunity to score it there was awful. But he went back and honestly, once again, was fouled when he hit that game when he shot up or game tying shot, or it was Wendell Carter Jr. He was 100% fouled there as well. You know, they're not calling that though, but sent the game to overtime. And then Katie did the rest. And, you know, I guess we can segue to that, right? Katie had 35 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 65 true shooting. He had that chase down block that Brad pointed out that Reed took down the coast of the court. And then one thing that I've been saying a lot with Kevin Durant is we don't win this game last season. This is the type of game we 52 wins, so what 20 losses, 20 yeah. So like no 30 losses, 30 losses,
Yeah, yeah,
30
30.
losses. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
all over
yeah.
the
You're
place.
good. It's late. It's late.
82 game season, right? But yeah, but we lost 30 games last season. This would have been one of those 30.
For
This
sure.
was going to be one. The reason why just real quick, the reason why 30 losses sounds like a lot. Like
It
we lost
does.
30. Like that's
That's a lot
it's
of
like we didn't
games,
lose
bro. It's
30,
a
but
lot.
yeah, that's why I said 20. I'm like, I don't even but all right, 30. This would have been one of those 30 though. We would not have won this game last season. Absolutely. This is a game we probably get blown out in, honestly. Um, But the difference between this year and last year is that when the going got tough, we could just say, "Here, Kevin Durant, please save us." And as like elementary as that sounds, that's what we did, and that's what worked, right? Like we just gave Katie the ball and asked him to bail this team out time and time again. And like I pointed out, earlier, a good true shooting is like 57, 58. He hit 65 tonight. So like he's bailing us out on ridiculous shot making and ridiculous efficiency while doing so. None was bigger than, like I said, in that fourth quarter where he had 8 points on six. Matter of fact, I lied, man. He was just killing it the whole game. I said the
Yes.
fourth quarter he had 8 points, but he had 10 points the quarter before that, and then he started the game with 9 points. So I mean, just ridiculous, dude. Like the consistent shot making, the reliable shot making kept this team alive. Obviously, he hit the biggest shot in OT, the go ahead bucket. Also off of that, I want to say that's the shot that Jabari blocked. I want to make sure we show some love to Jabari because while I didn't mention the best offensive game, he had one of the biggest blocks of the game. Also had a really big three as well. Like there's two things Jabari is known for is his game just elevates offensively and defensively when it matters the most because he hit a big three in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
had 6 rebounds in that fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and then obviously had that big block in overtime period, which then allowed Kevin Durant to go down, wave off that immense screen. I think it was Franz Wagner, walked them down, game over. Right, that was the shot that put us up by 3 points. And this is the NBA,
That-
man. You played a foul game, bro. You played a foul game. You trust your ability to make free throws. The Rockets did that. Shout out to Amin Thompson. Shout out to Reece Sheppard. Both of them made their free throws on the stretch of the game. And then I think it was Tristan De Silva who no, it was Wendell who missed that free throw in overtime for the Magic.
I have to assume it was
It
Wendell.
was no, it was Tristan De Silva.
Was it
It
Tristan?
was Yeah, it was Tristan De Silva. He missed a free throw for them, which allowed us. Also, Wendell also missed one in overtime. So maybe it was both of them.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like that's the game, right? Now we go up by 4 points, and you don't have to foul no more. Just play them straight up. They obviously don't have any more timeouts left. Game is over, right? So the game literally came down to Alperen Sengun, Kevin Durant playing out of their mind, playing like two superstars. The Rockets have, in my opinion, at this point in time, two superstars in Houston. And I've said it. You look at what Şengün's been putting up this season. I mean, he's just like some 2K stat lines. He's playing like I'm not saying he is a top 10 player. He's playing like one of the 10 best players in the league right now. He's
Yeah.
playing like absolutely. And so yeah, shout out to bro, shout out to Katie. Got that win for us, man.
Yeah, again, those shots I saw from KD Will in person was one of the filthiest buckets I've seen in the clutch. Like as you said, it's a save me offense. You just roll the ball at the KD and let him go to work. And like the cross and snatch he hit on Wendell was just, I mean, that's just KD's one of the few guys in history where you can just rely on him to do that, and he's gonna do it like 9 out of 10 times, right? Um, but yeah, just again having that guy, we'll put it on the money. Having that guy is so important in the half court that could just execute when you need him to. And I 100% agree. This is a game they lose last year, and it does sound crazy that they lost 30 last year.
Yeah, that's what that didn't sound right,
It
but they
makes me
did lose
it makes
30.
me laugh even more that people thought we'd win less than 50 this year. It just doesn't seem possible. But just having KD just unreal shot making ability, right? Mid range from three, whenever he wants to get a bucket, he can just go out there and get one. So I have to give him a ton of credit. He's letting Şengün go to work, and if he's ever seen him struggling, it's all right. We're just gonna get it right back to KD, and he's gonna go crazy here. So really fun night. That was one of the best games I've ever been to. And I wanted to say this off the KD note. After, and I agree, well, I did think KD got fouled on that last play in regulation.
I think he absolutely was.
The amount of fans that left in Toyota Center after that was very interesting. I'm talking about like it seemed like everybody was rolling out.
I mean,
And
the game was essentially over at that point. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we
not
had a
saying I would have
timeout.
left,
We had
but
a
it was
timeout. It was a
over.
1 point game. If they hit both, we can still hit a three and go to OT. I mean, I get trying to maybe beat the traffic, but I mean, hey, like they missed the free throw and people still walking out. And shit, we go down there, tie the game up, and everyone starts storming back. Everyone starts storming back. So got just be patient. Games are over when they're over. You'll know. You don't have to leave that early. But yeah, I thought Kevin was spectacular in this one. Şengün as well. You got two superstars that's gonna get the job done. Um, yeah, especially in a game where Amin Thompson looked awful.
Yeah, he looked bad. Steven Adams looked bad.
My pop said, "Damn, Stephen Adams kind of struggling, huh?" I said,
Yeah, he was very bad today. And Min was very
"One
bad
of he was
today.
1 of 8." Stephen, I'm just
Yeah,
not looking at the
I don't
box.
even. Jesus Christ, dude.
I think those were probably all tip ins that he missed.
I'll say Bari and Amin both gave us 10 rebounds today, and Steven gave us 13. So
Having 4 guys with 10 rebounds is also upset.
yeah, I was saying, like I said, Reed Sheppard had 7. So
The last thing I'll say, go ahead, Will.
no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, last thing I'll say is me and Will actually talked about this before we jumped on for this stream. Okogie is so great that I don't care that it looks like he didn't even take a shot. He didn't take a shot today. He had 1, 2, and 1, and I still felt like he was hella impactful. Even in a -18 game, his minutes were awful. Doesn't mean it was his minutes. Like when he was on the court, they got outscored by 18. But I'm not pinning that on him. I thought he was really good defensively in this one. But I'm always show love to the role players. So shout out to Okogie. But that's all I got for this episode. Like again, Şengün, KD in the clutch. I'll pull the stats tomorrow. I want to say Şengün's probably top 2 or 3 right now. He could be leading the league in buckets in the final 2 minutes amongst everybody in the NBA. So I'll pull that tomorrow if you want to see that on my Twitter or whatever. But that's all I got. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Shout out to Şengün for that crazy behind the back pass, because man, the balls to attempt that in overtime of a clutch game that was needed. My goodness. But I'm glad in a crazy sense, I'm kind of glad the Rockets don't play till Wednesday, nothing else, because we went to overtime, so let's get some rest.
Yeah.
But also my heart can't take that, because that was a game that had me on the edge of my seat for like the last 30 minutes of the game. So yeah, man.
That was a stressful Houston Cougars, Texans, and Rockets game. I don't know if you were watching.
Ain't gonna lie, it made the win that much. Like that's a win that genuinely had me happy, bro. Like
Yeah,
I left that game like genuinely pleased, bro. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight because of that. So
same.
Shout out to the Rockets for getting the job done. What are we, 9-3 now?
9-3.
And it's so frustrating because we should really be like 11-1, bro. That the Pistons game and the Spurs, they were not better than us. We should not have lost to them.
Yeah, bro.
Goodness, man.
It's all good. We'll take 9-3 again, 4th best record in the NBA. 3rd.
Hey, they got to make up for it. I'll say that, because we played the Cavs.
Tough.
That's
stretch.
a game.
Tough.
Yeah,
stretch.
Cavs and Nuggets. Let me see. Who do we play after the Nuggets?
Golden State is after that too.
No, we play the Suns on Monday.
It's okay. So it's Suns.
So next Monday.
Suns,
it's Cavs, Nuggets,
Suns. I'm over here guessing, y'all. I'm sorry.
And then it's the Warriors. We play the Warriors on next Wednesday. I ain't gonna lie. You kind of got to go 4-0 right here. You kind of got to go 4-0.
It's gonna be tough, though.
You kind of got to go 4-0.
It's gonna be tough. So they got the Cavs next.
Oh yeah. You got to go 4-0. You got to go 4-0.
It's Cavs, Nuggets, Suns, Warriors, right? That sounds right.
Cavs, Nuggets, Suns, Warriors. Yes, and then we got the Jazz after that. So
okay, well I'm gonna tell you this. You got it. You ain't no excuse to lose to Phoenix, right? Denver's gonna be tough, but that's at the crib in a cup game. I have faith in that game. Cleveland, they match up well against Cleveland. Golden State is Golden State. It's always gonna be some.
Go 3-1. Go 3-1. I will bargain with you. Leave this stretch 3-1.
I can see them winning 3, and then some nonsense happens again.
And the one you have to for sure beat the Warriors, just off of pride alone.
I want them to beat the Warriors. Win the 2 cup games. That's what I want. Win the 2.
I ain't gonna lie, man. We should, especially with because Darius Garland isn't gonna play in that game. We should beat the Cavs, dude. We should beat them.
They match up against them regardless. They beat them last
time. Man. The Nuggets is the one that's gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie. That's the one game where if we lose, if you have to lose one of these games, lose to the Nuggets. Actually, no. Lose to the Cavs. If you have to lose one, lose to the Cavs. Beat the Nuggets. Beat the Suns and beat the Warriors.
Cannot happen. That can't happen. Yeah, you're gonna be hearing about that one. But it'll be good though. That'll be a fun stretch to cover. Of course, you'll be hearing about that stretch from Will and I whenever it happens. So if you're still listening, make sure to like, sub, comment what you thought about the game today. Again, we're trying to hit 5,000 subs this year, so definitely tap in and let us know what you thought. So, Will, if you're done on this one, it sounds like
I'm good.
Cool. Yep, that was an episode of the Brad and Will Show. We'll be back soon.